What would I say to a young singer that has gone on the wrong track, like having studied with someone and they're not in good shape? Well, they've learned a lot on the way without realizing it, perhaps. Perhaps the languages are in good shape. Perhaps the characterizations are in good shape. They might have to go back and restudy. But restudying can be a very big thing. Finding the right, it's always finding that right person, putting your talent in their hands. Someone said to me recently, oh, the kids don't even know how to walk across the stage. Well, it's not their fault if we don't prepare them to know that they should know how to walk across the stage. When I was very young, I went straight to the Met, and my mother said to me, Jesus, you look so dumpy walking on the stage. Can't you back off? When you come on, you look so dumpy. And do you know what a shock that was? Because I thought I was looking very beautiful. I had a lovely costume, and I had a voice, quote unquote, so what else was needed? Lots. If you don't tell them that they need to know how to breathe, that the breathing process is the basis of it all. I love, as I'm always saying, I love these people who know so much and who write so many books and who can tell you all, who stood on the corner of Müllerstrasse in Vienna in 1492. But get up and show me practically how to do it. I'm glad to hear about Müllerstrasse in 1492, but show me how to breathe. Tell me what I must do to make this body function properly so that I can breathe correctly. The subject is the wonderful thing of having a talent and wanting to realize a career, and also the horror of having a talent and wanting to realize a career. I think it's far more wonderful than it is horrible. But that's because I've also had great luck, word we haven't used so far. I've been fortunate enough to meet people that have helped me in life, that have pushed in the right direction at a time when the push was they could make that push. It might not have happened 20 years before. It might not have happened 10 years later, but the right place at the right time. That's also an element that has to be figured into this whole equation. And none of these answers are guaranteed answers, and none of these answers can be given to assure any young person a career. They have to, and I think they do, because I know I felt that if I didn't sing, I don't think I could have done anything else. And even that isn't 1,000% true, because I was a school teacher before and studied Romance languages and comparative literature and would have been quite happy teaching in a college. But I say that now after I've had the career, There was a time I didn't know I could have the career, so I thought that was great. Once I started singing, that's all there was. Getting out there and performing was as necessary as eating. And the Lord knows, you can see I found it necessary to eat. But I'm just saying that to say that if you have that feeling in you that I must sing, then you go up against these walls and say, I can handle this. I'll try it again. I'm gonna work at it. And I've seen young people knocked down time and time and time again, and they get up and they go right back. God bless them. But we should be there somehow, somewhere, available for them to go and say, hey, look, what am I doing wrong? Maybe you can't give me a career, but will you just hold my hand and help me over this hump? Now we have financial organizations that can help them over the hump. We need all kinds of forms to help us get from one hump to the other. How to have a career? You get out there and you fight. You get out there and don't ever give up on your talent, but don't be stupid. If there comes a time that you say, I don't want to be in this fight anymore, don't become a 50-year-old has-been before you got started. There are other things in life that could make you happy. You don't have to sing Aida. You can also sing the priestess and be a darn good priestess and a happy woman. Or a happy man. It depends on where they're going those days with the priestess. But you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that you can be in a chorus, but just whatever you be first class. At least want to be first class. Again, there's so many elements to discuss. I think that you'd really be happier having a discussion that's a dialogue or a panel for the sake of one person feeding off the other, because we do. We feed off of each other's experiences, we feed off of each other's lives. We remember things when someone mentions something that makes you say, oh yes, I remember when that happened to me and how it was resolved. Which is why I always say to young people, don't just let me ask you questions about yourself. Ask me what you want to know from me, and also find out what from the people that you approach. What do they have in mind for you? What is their campaign for you? No, not just I want to sing for you, but if I do sing for you, what do you want to do? Where do you think I will be going? And if you don't agree, find out. Don't go there. Don't let someone do anything with you that you don't want or might not be good for you. You've got to be involved. I'm often asked what's the job of the difference between the coach and the voice teacher. When I started going to a voice teacher, I didn't know what a coach was. I started to learn how to sing, how to sing well technically. But that lady never let me forget that I was singing words. And words have meaning. And meanings that are different colors. Sometimes they're bright, sometimes they're dark, sometimes it's happy. And what she taught me was how to use these different colors and use these different expressions correctly, technically. And then I went to a coach, Martin Rich, and we talked about the same things, but he didn't interfere with the technique. He told me more about the phrasing, where it was to be pianissimo, and why there was a crescendo there, and why there was a decrescendo there, what was going on with the characters, what did the composer have in mind, what were the harmonic values. Now, I don't know if coaches nowadays do this, because a lot of the coaches that I've met are just high-class rehearsal pianists, which is very different. You also need a good rehearsal pianist. But getting into the discussion of the musical value and what the composer, what the harmonies, what harmonies colored the idea a certain way, what instruments, why is a bassoon used for a certain type of emotion, whereas a flute would be used for another type of emotion. I used to love to sit with a score and listen to the recordings just for the sake of hearing the orchestra and follow the score. And every time I did it, I found out how much I didn't know and how much more there was to learn and how stupid I really was. And I have to tell you, I'm still learning. And every time there's a class and there's a new group, I find myself saying, well, what are they going to teach me now? Because I know that they're going to teach me something. And that's one of the great things about it. You don't ever go, I play devil's advocate in those classes, and that's all. And it's amazing what they have to say. But they need the chance to be told that they can express themselves and they have something to say. Now the coach also has to allow you to feel something, if not the way he or she is feeling it, to say, but I feel such and such. Because after all, the character must come from you, must come out of your being. Now, I'm not saying this because I was any great actress. I mean, I don't fool myself at all. When I first went out there, they said, sing those high C's, honey, and sing them loud. But that doesn't mean that as years went on, especially, I didn't find that became more and more important to me. And that when that became important to me, the singing became easier. And of course, life changes too. You have different experiences that allow you to express yourself different ways. When I was 14.5 years old and I said, I love you, I thought I knew what that meant. And I did in terms of knowing what it meant to love a mother or a father or a dog. But I didn't know what it means to be in love, as many of the heroines that I was playing were in love, which was different. I didn't know what it meant to love someone, to die for them, and I still don't know what that means. But that's a different story. That's another time. But you have to know enough to be convincing enough to take that person there. I mean, you don't have to die really to play butterfly, but you have to know how she got there and why she got there, so that the next step is just to execute it.